So, what do you guys want to talk about?
How the main events at Wrestlemania going to go this year?
Yeah. Welcome to the Wrestling Council. Welcome to the Wrestling Council. I'm Rose Comic Book Bob. Joining always my good friend Hollywood Frank.
HW into his house.
Yep. You can catch us here every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Talking about all the news in wrestling. You can also follow us on social media.
Yeah, right down there.
Crawling below there on the stream is also in the description below there. And yeah. Oh my God. You know, sometimes it's not good to be right. I said at the beginning of the year when I made predictions, Cody wasn't going to finish his story at Wrestlemania. And I didn't quite think it was going to happen this way, but yeah. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, you know, anything could happen between now and then. Yeah. Oh God, here we go.
The Rock Hogan is here.
And the fact that Dwayne is facing Roman at WrestleMania and I'm not makes me sick.
Yeah, and you weren't alone, man. I don't know if anybody watched Raw last night, but we haven't heard that many boos for The Rock since what was that, like 1997, man.
Yeah.
It's been a while, but yeah. So not to bury the lead, but Dwayne The Rock Johnson, who became a member of the TKO board on January 4th. And within a single month, there's a little bit of nepotism going on there. And yeah, he kind of cucked Cody, man. He kicked Cody to the curb. And he is now, well, they haven't officially said it. And I do think that, we'll get into it a little bit more, but I do think that they're going to do some course correction here. And but right now it looks like it's going to be him versus Roman on night 2 for WrestleMania, and Cody was forced to take a back seat, and boy, he did not look happy about it. But before we get into that real quick,
let's go ahead and pulling a Hogan.
Yeah, pulling a Hogan, man. Big Daddy Guardian Chaos says Big Bob quoting Eli Drake. Yeah, there you go. But he was first. He said, hey yo, Big Daddy.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, thanks for being here, sir. Appreciate it. Leg Kick said, hail the Wrestling Council. How you guys? How you, my friend? Yep, we're good, man. Appreciate you being here, Leg Kick. Frank said I was, yes, I'm good to go. The Valentina said, sup, people? Driving through a storm, won't be commenting much, but be listening. Yeah, be careful, brother. Take care of yourself, man.
Sup?
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 Hello.
What's up?
What's up? But yeah, interesting week, and it's going to be interesting going forward. Thursday is going to be real interesting, but we got to get there first. But before we do, let's go ahead and do it's a little something we do, our favorite little segment here, something we call the good, the bad, and the ugly. For me,
you
good,
Mr. Evans.
Yeah, the good. My brain just took a complete crap on me, man. Here.
Is it New Japan? Is it Stardom?
No. Collision. The Collision show this week was really good. Was it the cage match between FTR and with Daniel Garcia versus House of Black. Really, really good match. I thought it was a good Collision. Also up this week, which I'm glad. Collision this week felt a little bit more like the old Collision. I'm still, I'm not sold on Tony Schiavone being leading the commentary team. but it was a lot better. But another really good thing, Jim Ross came through his surgeries. You guys know that Jim Ross has been struggling with a lot of really bad health problems lately. Wishing him the best, and he pulled out of that. So good stuff there. God, my brain is just not working.
What's up
today.
with you today, brother?
Oh my God. Kevin Owens. Turns out his injury was not as bad as we thought. He does have, I think he has a fracture in his foot, but he's working through it. So that's a little bit good news, because they got enough people on the shelf. The bad. Oh boy.
There's so many ways you can go.
The bad. Just, I know what, I'm not gonna claim that. I'll let you have that one this week, man. Just the direction that WWE is going with its main event for WrestleMania after Royal Rumble is just, they're completely falling all over themselves. And we're gonna get into it, like I said, but this situation that's going on here, this doesn't just affect Cody, man. I mean, obviously he is the main person that gets affected by it. This affected Seth really badly too.
Yep.
Seth got freaking buried in this stuff. So, and we'll get more into that. I feel bad for him. But it was just, it's just, I don't know what they were thinking. Obviously they realized that they made a mistake, and the people saying that this was a work for the whole time. No, it wasn't.
No,
it wasn't. This wasn't a work. They legitimately thought that they could insert The Rock into WrestleMania and people would be, I think they knew some people would be upset. I don't think they expected the reaction that they got. They definitely didn't expect the reaction they got. And so it wasn't a work that looked like a shoot. This was a shoot that turned into a work.
Yeah,
because after what happened, they 100% leaned into it, and we're like, okay, well, that's the way the wind's blowing, so we need to pivot on this. But the question is, are they going to course correct the situation? Maybe not. We'll discuss that. That's what we'll discuss tonight.
Yeah,
started
getting a Daniel Bryan-esque type.
Yeah, that's what they
starting to get that way. That's
what people are thinking. They're like leaning towards. What the hell's wrong with my mic? But and then the ugly. Obviously, when stuff like this happens, people get a little too worked up about it, and they react. Obviously, you're going to react. And I didn't like it either. I made my 2 cents known. But some people take it too far, and things like The Rock's daughter getting death threats, that kind of stuff. That is just that's wrong. This is ridiculous. Whether you like him or you hate him, or whether you like her, because obviously she's on NXT. Like I said, there's a little bit of nepotism going on over there, where she suddenly became the GM of NXT. Yeah. But she doesn't deserve that. Come on, guys. Let's be, and I'm sure 99% of it is freaking a bunch of 14-year-old edgelords.
Yeah.
But that's one. My other ugly. We had 2 major deaths. Carl Weathers, aka Apollo Creed, and Toby Keith. Very, very, just very quickly, kind of out of nowhere. I mean, obviously, I know Toby Keith was sick, and Carl Weathers he was getting on in years. He was in the 70s, but he seemed like he was fine, and then just suddenly just gone. So, 2 unfortunate deaths right there. So, rest in peace to both of those men. And that's my GBU. What do you got?
All right. First off, my Aaron and Moses team at work, thank you for following me. And she asked for it. So shout out Megan Bell at Burntwood and Chagrin Falls. You said, hey, can I get a shout out? There you go, Megan. So let's get into it. First off, Any golfers out there, I'm going to be running concession front of house at Aaron and Moses. So if any golfers out there that are following us have any ideas for like simple snack, quick snack food for golfers, let me know. Fire it off to me. I'd appreciate it.
Cool.
But on to wrestling. The good. I appreciated that where they're going with Bailey with the Kabuki Warriors.
Yep.
You mentioned it about them. The Kairi Sane, Io Shirai, and Asuka forming their own group. Where Dakota Kai leans into that thing, who knows? But you said it was going to be the Japanese section breaking off and kicking Bailey aside, and I think she'll win at WrestleMania. I really do,
and I think that's the right call.
And they've been building up the storyline for a while, and it's nothing they rush, so it's actually doing the right thing with it. So will we see Hugger Bailey again? Who knows? But she doesn't need to be Hugger Bailey. She just needs to be turn face and have a good time out there and win the title and get her WrestleMania moment. Yeah, the WrestleMania WWE Twitter fans are the most mentally unhinged people I've seen. Yeah,
they're definitely up there.
My bad. It goes so many ways. Like, what was the purpose of Cody coming back to WWE?
To win the title that is dead.
Win the title for the story that he's been there over 2 years. And doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon. It might not happen. He might not win the title from Roman Reigns till next WrestleMania.
He might not win the title from Roman at all. He might take it off of The Rock.
The Rock being the guy who ends the title reign for Roman Reigns is
freaking stupid.
And you're going to might put the secondary. It's a secondary title. It's the runner-up belt
after
Rollins is carrying.
After the way that they ran it down on SmackDown, it might be the third title. Gunther's IC title might be bigger.
Well, technically, it is the third title because Roman Reigns has the other two.
Yeah,
combined into one. So technically, it is the third title.
Yeah. What'd you say? Johnny?
Roman took a dump on that thing,
dude. We'll get into it, man. But I'm gonna let Frank finish this GBU first.
You've got the WCW title. You've got the WWE title. That's the Universal title that Roman Reigns has.
It has the pedigree of both.
Any lineage is with Roman Reigns.
Yep.
The only person who has lineage for Seth Rollins' title is Seth Rollins.
Yeah, and I'll give
that's it.
I'll give Seth credit. He's worked really hard to make that title relevant. Okay,
he has because Roman Reigns isn't.
But nothing he does is going to change the fact that Roman's belt is the original WWF and WCW belt. It has all the pedigree. So,
and they're talking that if Cody wins and beats Seth, the possibility they could unify his title and Roman Reigns' title.
Yeah, because one thing we do know is that because we know that Hunter doesn't like the fact that there's two world titles.
Yeah,
and the only reason that they created the other one was because of the television contracts where they demanded that there be a belt to defend on the show. So
you're gonna give Cody the runner-up title and merge it with the Universal title possibility.
Stupid. Like I said, the last someone was asking me how I would rate Hunter as far as his booking, his creative. From the time that he took over to now, overall, I'd say I'd give him a really solid 8. He's done a really, really good job. But in the last month, they have shit the bed.
Yep,
it's bad.
And The Rock is here to save WrestleMania. Save it from what? It was sold out before he came in.
Yeah,
it was going to be sold out even if he wasn't in the main event.
Yeah, I got into a discussion with this guy. He was like, "They're going to make so much more money with him." And I was like, "What money? The show's already sold out. All the sponsors have already been set up. So he's not going to bring any more sponsors from outside." Okay. Cody's the number one merch seller in the entire company.
You've already got NXT on on CW. You've got SmackDown going to USA. You've got Raw going to Netflix. Those deals are already done.
Yeah. What money is he bringing in?
Done.
Yeah, like what money is he? The only thing The Rock's going to bring is
Merchandise.
He's going to bring some merchandise, and he's going to bring a little bit of reach outside of wrestling because of his Hollywood connections. That's it. This idea that somehow they're going to make like more money hand over fist because he's there is ludicrous. It's like that argument of like, that's why they did it because they're going to make more money. No, they're not really. And yeah, anyway, but that's your bad. What's your ugly?
And you think The Rock's not going to get booed? They don't want to be a
in
heel?
Philly. Dude, he's gonna, if they don't course correct this thing, and I mean course correct this thing hard, he's gonna get freaking crucified.
I don't know how you can course correct it other than putting. I don't want to.
You got to backtrack.
I don't want to see a triple threat match between Cody, Roman, and Rock.
I mean, it would be better, and especially if Cody's the one who wins, but it's not ideal. But yeah, and it was awful.
And my ugly was this. Yeah. Drew versus Seth and Cody versus Roman. Punk take on whoever wins versus Seth versus Drew.
Yeah, that's exactly what they should have done.
Yeah, Dylan, that'd be great. But right now, until he signs, Drew McIntyre's a free agent right after or shortly after WrestleMania.
Yeah, it is pretty effed up, Big Daddy. That's why I said it, because this whole situation is effed up. Oh man, and this situation reaches farther than Cody, man. And we're going to talk about it, like I said.
But, Dylan Rock was getting booze as a favorite. Getting booze at a house show in Knoxville this weekend. Yeah, and he was getting booed on Raw last night. And
they were like doing their best to like downplay, like mute the booze he was getting. But there was a guy that actually put a video up where it wasn't during television, so they didn't do that. Man, that house was friggin' storming. They were not happy, man.
That's and my ugly is also WWE. Mm-hmm. It's I'm not going to dwell too much on it because it's we talked about it in prior episodes of the whole Vince McMahon thing. Yeah. But John Laurinaitis is a victim. A victim.
Dude. You want to know something? Okay,
he's a victim.
Oh my god, dude! I was waiting. I was waiting for the apocalypse to start because I'm like, that level of bullshit is beyond belief. But here's the thing. All right, so somebody actually brought this up, and I disagree with it, but I understand where the question comes from. And here's the thing: if Janelle Hill goes to trial,
Grant,
okay,
Janelle Grant.
I'm sorry. If this thing with Janelle Grant does go to trial, she's going to get asked she's going to get asked this question. And so it's a legitimate question to ask. And it's a question that after what's happened, I'm pretty sure that her team's going to have a good answer for it. But the question is, why didn't she come forward until after the money ran out, until the money dried up? And that's a question that a lot of people have. And here's the thing. That's a legitimate question. That's a legitimate question. She didn't come forward until the money dried up. But after what, but the thing, like I 100% I believe that there's fire where the smoke is.
Yeah.
And the biggest telltale sign of that, in my eyes, was when John Laurinaitis friggin' turned on Vince McMahon. That's the rats leaving the ship. Yeah. Because they know something bad's coming.
No,
okay.
That's why Bucky Beaver left.
And I know. And I think that's what happened was, I think TKO, we talked about this, TKO got wind that this was coming. They got wind of how bad it was. And they started cleaning up. Basically, they went to Kevin Dunn and said, here, you got two choices. You can either quit or we're going to fire you. Pick one. And they were getting ahead of this a little bit and starting to clean house before this happened.
I'm surprised Bruce is still there.
I think Bruce is still there because from what I've heard rumors that there's contractual issues, and this is the only reason why he's still there. And the fact that he conveniently suddenly went and got surgery. and something about they can't fire someone who's injured or who's basically on medical leave or something like that, and that's the only reason why Bruce has not been either forced out or fired.
No, it's because he's a victim, like Dylan said.
Doesn't Vince get a neck brace every time he's going to try for something?
Yeah.
That's actually that's the way somebody pointed out the thing with Bruce Pritchard is that whenever something like this happens, some kind of medical thing usually pops up with somebody involved. I know that when that situation, I think someone said the same thing happened with Laurinaitis. Like some kind of like a medical issue popped up when that situation happened.
I don't want to spend too much time on that because but
a lot of it's speculation and
he's a victim. But he backed that bus over Vince.
Oh my God!
Backed that bus over Vince multiple times.
Dude, he threw Vince under that bus, backed it up, jumped out, and took a piss on his ashes. Dude, it's and when that happened, I was like, okay, yeah, there's definitely fire where there's smoke's at.
Yeah,
because he wouldn't be doing that if that weren't the case. But yeah, so that's GBU.
What do you got, Johnny? You got any GBU?
Got anything?
Just one clip. I saw someone landing with their new the Guzzo pipe of one Wardlow. I thought he was dead there.
It's not what?
The commander guy landing with his new Wardlow's Guzzo pipe.
Oh yeah.
That was attempted murder. I mean, it was an accident, I know, but damn, that was a.
And sometimes like I said, man, sometimes these guys they do spots they really don't need to be doing. But yeah, that was a good match though.
Not the match they should have had, not for Wardlow.
No. But it was better than I'll put it this way, it was better than I thought it was going to be. But anyway, okay, so let's get into this situation with The Rock. So going all the way back, let's start with it. Basically, last month, January 4th, The Rock was appointed to the TKO board of directors. He was given complete ownership as part of the arrangement. He was given complete ownership of the Rock name, and he received $30 million in company stock.
Yeah. My God.
In addition to, I believe there were other salary things put into place.
Yeah.
On top of that, so January 4th, according to all the reports, according to what the reports coming out and what people are saying, now, although some reports are now coming out saying where they're trying to dispute this, The Rock headlining WrestleMania Night 2 was part of that deal.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happened going forward, regardless of anything else, The Rock headlining against Roman Reigns on Night 2 was a part of that deal. And it was a part of that deal because The Rock's contract, there are certain milestones that if he hits them, he gets paid more. He gets more money if he hits these certain milestones. So, and some of those milestones they were obligated to put into place. And that was one of them. According to, basically according to the initial reports. Now some people are trying to dispute that, but that's basically the story that everyone's going with.
Yeah, that was the case. Then he should have been
in the Royal Rumble.
He should have been entrant number 30.
Yep,
cleared the ring, and then we wouldn't have this controversy.
Right. So, and that brought up the whole situation. That if that was the case, if the intention was that Roman was going to be the headlining Night 2 against, The Rock was headlining Night 2 against Roman all along, why have Cody win in the first place? Not only that, Cody wins.
Points at Roman.
Literally turns around, points at Roman, starts jawing at him. Roman turns around, picks up his title, starts jawing back at Cody.
Why do all that?
Dylan, from that was one of the stories that came forward. Most of the stories that have come forward and most of the information has discredited that. But at this point, who the hell knows? Because they've changed their story like 3 or 4 times.
Everything I've heard it was always supposed to be Cody.
Yeah, everything that I heard that Cody was always supposed to win the Rumble. Punk was going to. It was they were going to kind of tease that Punk was either going to turn heel or kind of go become like a tweener, and they were going to set up a program between Punk and
Seth.
Cody.
Oh,
It was going to be Punk and Seth. Well, Punk and Seth was going to happen eventually, but they were going to set up a program between Punk and Cody, and that was going to be a another potential possible match for WrestleMania if they decided not to pull the trigger on Punk and Seth. That whole thing was kind of like it's very mercurial at that point. But Cody winning the Rumble was always the plan.
Why is Cody going to be in the Elimination Chamber match?
Doesn't make it doesn't make, yeah, because he gave his friggin' spot to friggin' The Rock.
No, but then they tell him they have him on Raw, and Seth asked him is he gonna challenge him at WrestleMania?
Yeah, that was an audible. That was them. Like I said, they realized that they screwed up.
Right.
And then they started this is them spin doctoring it now.
And Cody still hasn't made a decision what he wants to do at WrestleMania. But then like it's so fucked up.
It's so stupid, man.
Like,
well, no, here's the thing. The way that he worded it when he was on SmackDown, he is going to use his contract on Roman. He's just not going to do it at WrestleMania, which makes no freaking sense. He said he told Roman, yeah, and this. So let me go back to this.
It's not a Money in the Bank briefcase he has.
Anyway, I want to go back to all this happens. The Rock starts making his presence known. There is also reports that The Rock is inserting himself creatively, and is actually doing the same thing that he did when he was part of the DC film universe, where instead of talking to the people that are in charge of these different departments, he's going over top of people's heads.
Because that worked out so well for him.
Yeah, because it worked out. Yeah, it worked out so well in when he was in DC. And there's rumors that he's actually angling to take Hunter's job.
Jesus Christ.
Now, whether or not that's true, who knows? But we do know that he has inserted himself into the creative process, which is why his daughter was named general manager of NXT. Which look, I don't have anything against her, but she's not great. And then we get the Royal Rumble. Rumble goes off the way we expected. They're still insinuating by everything that happened during the Rumble and after the Rumble that Cody's going after Roman, and that Cody's going to finish his story at WrestleMania. Okay. We get the SmackDown. Okay. Actually, before that, the Raw after the Royal Rumble, Seth comes out and pleads his case to Cody, telling him, I understand why you want to go after Roman. Title. I understand, but this is the working man's title. This is, if your dad was around, this is the title he would have wanted. He would have gone after. Seth makes his case. It was a great promo. Okay. Yeah. It's total bullshit.
It was a good promo,
but it was a fantastic promo. And I liked the drama and the setup of it. Okay. That's great. Cody's saying he'll think about it. Here's the thing. We get to SmackDown, and Roman literally spends the first 10 minutes just taking a massive dump on Seth and on that belt, pointing out that his belt is the one with all the heritage, that Seth's belt is, and literally calls Seth's belt the loser's belt. Okay. Which in everybody's mind, that's what it is. It's the good enough belt. It's the consolation prize title. Okay. So right there, they've already just reinforced that into people's minds. Now, it's not ideal, but if they had not done that, and then Cody comes out and chooses Seth, I think people would still be upset. Okay. They definitely would be upset, but it wouldn't have made Seth look as bad. Okay. The fact that they had Seth and Cody do that promo before they went to SmackDown, and then Roman runs the belt down, and Cody chooses Roman anyway, even though he's not going to do it at WrestleMania, which is stupid. That completely cuts Seth off at the knees. They may as well literally call that belt the friggin' loser's belt now. Because every creative decision that they made has basically led to that point. Yeah, exactly, Malice. It's the at least you tried title. That's the way it, and because of the way that this whole thing played out, that's exactly the way it looks now. And even if Cody goes to WrestleMania and he fights Seth and he wins that belt, that's not going to elevate that belt anymore.
Right. And we have it in my fantasy football league, Rob. It's no joke title because it's for the six teams that didn't make the playoffs.
Right.
The toilet bowl title, which is pretty much what they've made Seth's title. The toilet bowl title.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, Big Daddy said this is no swerve. They pulled an audible for The Rock. He believes he's a savior for WWE and WrestleMania. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but does it need saving?
I do wonder if part of this is because Cody is a Vince rehire. Vince actually went to Cody's house to sign him. I don't think so. I think that so Hunter, The Rock has overvalued himself. Yeah, I think he has. I think he 100% did, and I think he realized. Whether he realizes it or not now, I think WWE and TKO realize it now, and that's why they're basically trying to spin doctor this whole thing, and. And here's the thing. We know creatively they're going to try to figure out some way to spin this and use it. We know that for a fact. Whether or not that's going to happen, who knows? But here's the thing. This is when I knew that Cody versus Roman at WrestleMania was in jeopardy. Even though when Cody won at the Rumble, I was like, okay, well, maybe I'm wrong. About 3 months ago, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Sean Ross Sapp or somebody they were talking to Hunter in an interview, and they asked him about how people were getting frustrated with Roman and the fact that Cody didn't win at WrestleMania last year and how big of a moment it would have been. And like I said, it would have made him a Cena level friggin' megastar, and how people were disappointed with that and how people feel like Roman's stale. And Hunter said something that made me go, what? The hell are you talking about? He said that they understand that they are aware that people are over Roman. They desperately want Roman to lose that belt to somebody else. But the WWE creative, the brain trust at WWE believe that they can push this thing, that they can keep pushing this thing down the road because and this is exactly what he said. When we finally do pull the trigger and someone beats Roman, the sigh of relief that comes from the friggin' wrestling fans are going to be so happy, they're going to completely forget the fact that they were upset. And I'm like, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. No, they're not. So basically, you guys know that nobody wants this anymore. They're tired of it. You had a chance, like that shows you just how much they think about Cody in the future. They don't care. They think they can keep pushing this thing down the road as long as they want, and that when they finally pull the trigger, the fans are going to eat it up, and they'll be fat and happy, and just hey, everything's okay now, no problem. And no. They are so done with this, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and like I said on our predictions, if he doesn't lose at WrestleMania, which doesn't look like it's going to happen, unless he loses to The Rock, which would be
may as well
dumb.
Keep it on him. Yeah,
you might as well keep it on him until he breaks San Martino's record, because at this point, what does it matter?
Yeah, and I don't think that I think that they thought this situation with The Rock was the perfect, because honestly, even though apparently The Rock is like he's politicking for him to be the one that takes the belt off of Roman. I think the plan was for him to go there and lose.
That match is gonna get booed as even worse than the Goldberg versus Lesnar match.
Oh God, dude, it's gonna be bad. Yeah, genius. Yeah, but that when Triple H said that, that's when I realized they have Cody winning at WrestleMania is in serious jeopardy.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't win, and like I said, if he doesn't win at Mania, then Roman's holding that belt until after
he breaks Hogan.
Until after breaks Hogan's record, which is stupid. Because
With
even if he breaks Hogan's record, that means he's the number 3 guy. There's 2 other guys that have. He's not okay. He's not going to beat Backlund's record. He's definitely not going to beat San Martino's record. So beating Hogan's record means nothing. It means nothing. So it's so stupid. The whole idea of this thing makes no goddamn sense.
And for him to beat Hogan's record, he has to hold on to that title belt after SummerSlam.
Yep.
So he wouldn't lose at SummerSlam. He wouldn't lose it at any event till next year's WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And what sense would it make for him to wrestle that Survivor Series?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Dylan. And here's the thing. They said that everyone said that, hey, it's not that we don't want to see Rock versus Roman. We wanted to see it 2 years ago. Okay. We wanted to see it, a year ago even. But Rock said that he wasn't going to be, he couldn't do it. Now he's saying that he's going to work a full program, which is, 15, 20 minutes. Okay. A 15, 20-minute match. Dude comes out for his promo. He's already gassed halfway through his freaking promo. So his cardio, how's he going to freaking run a 15, 20-minute match? It's not going to happen. It's going to be like friggin' Hogan versus the Warrior, where 5 minutes in, the Warrior was about to die. So, but getting back to this whole thing. So Cody comes out after Roman spends the first 10 minutes of the friggin' show just taking a massive dump on Seth and every other WWE wrestler who challenged him for this title over the last 3.5 years. And Cody comes out and he's like, I understand, like Seth said, he's trying to play Seth up, but then he brings it back to the fact that Roman's belt is the belt. It's got all the pedigree. It's got all the history. That's the one, that belt, if you trace it back, is the one that Dusty held over his head and they took away from him. So, and he made it very clear. He's choosing Roman. I'm coming for you. I'm coming to take everything from you, but not at WrestleMania. And when that happened, as soon as he said that, man, that crowd they were stunned. They were like, what? And he talked about how he got some counsel of his own, blah, blah, blah. Out comes The Rock. Now, here's the thing. Rock's popular, okay? So when his music hit, the people cheered. They were all for it, man. They were like, hey, The Rock's coming in. Cody, goes and does it. And by the way, if I don't know if you guys noticed this, but the segment that they put up on their YouTube channel of this, they heavily edited out that when Cody was shook hands and hugged The Rock, because Cody's face was like, this is bullshit. You could tell he was not happy. And according to some people, when they hugged, apparently The Rock said he was sorry or something like that, because he could tell from his face he wasn't happy about it. Cody leaves, and then the show ends with The Rock and Roman facing off. And then we got, then the next couple of days between then and SmackDown, we had, we want Cody hashtag. People were not happy. Obviously all the stupid stuff happened as well with the death threats to his daughter. Then we come to SmackDown.
Raw.
I'm sorry. Then we come to Raw. And Seth comes out immediately, and people were cheering Seth, because Seth got a pop. He goes, look at that, I got a pop. Because like I said, freaking Roman Roman just took crap on him.
Yeah.
As soon as he says that, people start saying Rocky sucks. They started booing, and then he's like, I need an answer from Cody Rhodes. Cody comes out. They cheer the crap out of Cody. I mean, they were cheering for him like he was the second coming of Christ.
We want Cody.
and they were chanting, "We want Cody." Comes out, and they mention The Rock, and then people are just that like
More
literally
Rocky sucks.
Rocky sucks, right? And they go, "Wow, man, I didn't expect to hear that." And like I said, WWE they tried to play with the audio to make it sound like it wasn't as loud. Obviously, that was bullshit. Before and he came out and he said, "I want an answer, I want an answer." And then Drew McIntyre comes out, says his piece, tells Cody, "You gotta go, you gotta finish your story." Tells Seth it's supposed to be you and me, and it looks like they may be setting up a 3-way. But again, Cody comes out and he says, "I want an answer," even though Cody gave us his answer at SmackDown. This is where I said they're spinning it. They're spin doctoring this thing. They're trying to make it sound like Cody didn't say what he was actually going to do. Cody didn't say. He just said what I wasn't going to do it. It's not going to happen at WrestleMania. So now they're spin doctoring this thing. They realize they screwed up because of how virulent this thing was. Over half a million dislikes.
I hope everybody here helped with that number.
And you also got to factor this in too, Rob, is that Roman Reigns versus The Rock is at WrestleMania. That's in April.
Yep.
He's not wrestling again until maybe SummerSlam.
Yeah. He's only scheduled to wrestle 4 times this year.
So with that being said, Damon Priest has his briefcase he has to use between now and the end of June, because whenever Money in the Bank is in July or end of June, his contract's done.
Yeah.
So at some point, he's got to cash that in. I doubt it's going to be an Elimination Chamber.
Nope.
So it's either on the winner of the match that was set at WrestleMania, or it's Rock and Reigns at WrestleMania, which I doubt it's going to be that.
Yeah. Well, Pascal, Cody isn't at that level yet, and if guys like Rock come in here and do things like that, he's never going to be. Okay. Here's the thing: The Rock, we want Rock versus Roman. Okay, that's not a bad thing. We want that. Okay, people have wanted that for a while. But they don't want it at Cody's expense. Cody is 100% the biggest face in wrestling right now, hands down, bar none. And as far as this thing, you can't just set this thing up for the last 2 years and then think The Rock's that even someone as big as The Rock is going to slip in and fans are going to be okay with it. They're not. And especially if The Rock goes and wins, it makes no goddamn sense, because he's not going to stay there. Rock's not going to work the next year. It's going to be even worse than if Roman had the belt. Roman's part-time already. You can't, and this idea of, we're going to subvert everyone's expectation and it's going to be The Rock. Why? We've already talked about this. Like, he's not going to bring in any more money than's already there. The show's already sold out. Everybody that's going to watch this thing already has Peacock.
Yep.
So they're not going to get more subs from there. Cody's the #1 merch seller in the entire company, and arguably the world, of professional wrestling. Like I said, the promotional stuff is already done. So the financial backers and everything, all the commercials have already been set. All that's there. So there's not going to be more money from that. The only thing The Rock's going to bring, like I said, is he's going to bring some reach outside of the wrestling community into Hollywood. But that's not going to do anything. Not really. A little more exposure, maybe. But that's not going to translate into dollars. And he's not going to stick around on and perform in the ring for the next 6 months or what have you, until someone takes the belt off of him. So so this idea that somehow, and then that he came in to save WrestleMania. Really? From who? From what? Like I said, the show's already sold out. WrestleMania It could be the shittiest WrestleMania ever. WrestleMania will still be the biggest wrestling show of the year, hands down, bar none, because it's WrestleMania.
Is Rock going to come out with the Hurricanes dress or Hurricanes outfit on? Gonna have a big R on it.
The Hamburglar.
Yeah. It's gonna fly into the ring, and I'm here to save the day.
Yeah. Well, the Rock bringing in Brian Gershwitz. That's where that story comes from. That they think the Rock might actually be trying to push Triple H out of creative and take control of creative. Because basically Gershwitz is acting like his proxy in the within the creative team. And like I said, and there was a couple instances where The Rock actually went over Triple H's head when he was talking to TKO. So,
man, we were having such
thinking about getting Peacock to watch Mania when I said, and like I said, there might be a few of that, but it's not going to be significant.
We were having such a good time before this guy came back.
Well, here's the thing: I like The Rock. Okay,
I don't.
I do. I've always liked The Rock. And I think, and when they said that he became a member of the TKO board, I was like, okay, that's cool. I like that. You know, he's got a lot to offer. But in less than a month, it's completely derailed everything.
Yeah, he's got a lot to offer, but pulling a Hogan and exerting even more creative control than Hogan ever had.
Yeah. And this level of politicking has to be seen. That actually was so that's true, but it's also not true. They did actually, some people said that they did actually hand out some signs at the NXT show. But the signs that everyone's pointing to, saying that because they're all printed on printer paper, and they all had the same font, the same text and same font. Those those were created by a fan, and he passed those out at the show. Like a fan printed off 500 friggin' copies of the same. That's how pissed off the dude was. He printed off 500 copies of the same sign and handed them out.
Yeah, but at the same token, if they wanted to, they could have taken the signs away from the fans, because they have the right to do that. They'll tell you that on your ticket.
And I think that that's and like I said, when it became clear that this was the wrong course, that this was the wrong direction, I think like WWE, like they always do, they started trying to use it. It's like if you can't beat them, join them. You know, when something this big happens, and like they're comparing it to the Yes Movement. How the Yes Movement basically, Vince did not like Bryan Danielson. He did not like Bryan Danielson. He did not want him to be the champion, but the fans forced his hand. And eventually he was forced to acknowledge that it was the right call. But he fought that for years. So, and they're comparing this to the Yes Movement. So while I do think this was 100% a shoot, this started as a shoot. Okay. The fans being upset, them pulling this, thinking that the fans would be okay, that the majority of fans would be cool with The Rock taking over Cody's spot at WrestleMania. They thought that the majority of fans would be okay with it, and they were wrong, and they realized they were wrong. As soon as they realized they were wrong, that's when they started to pivot and try to use it. And so this is not a work that looked like a shoot. This is a shoot that turned into a work, that they have turned into a work. Now, where this is going to go, who knows? Because they still want Rock to hit that milestone because he wants his money. You know what I mean? So he wants to hit those contractual milestones. So he's not gonna back out of this thing. So it's gonna be The Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania on night 2.
Yep.
The question is it only going to be The Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania night 2? There is a possibility that they could put Cody in as and make it into a triple threat. That's not ideal, but it's better than The Rock versus Roman, especially if the plan was for The Rock to take the belt off of Roman. The Rock taking the belt off of Roman is the worst friggin' idea in the history of ideas.
At this point, I'm okay with the triple threat because the journey is already like kind of ruined. Just get the destination right.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. At this point, it's like they like I said, they've already crapped the bed. They kind of need now. They just need to try to. They already screwed up the triple Lutz. They got to try to stick the landing. Yeah. And that's where I think everyone's looking at them saying, "Okay, what are you going to do?" But now here's the thing: if they do that, and Cody does win, okay, it's not going to be the same because it's a triple threat match.
Yep. Cody could pin the Rock, and Roman never got beat to lose the title.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Unless they team up on him.
Yeah, and Pascal, I think that was the plan. I think that's the original plan. They were. Although I do know, like I said, Gershwitz is politicking for the Rock to win, because potentially this could be the Rock's last match. That's another thing that they were kind of touting up, is that this could be the Rock's last match ever. And if that's the case, he's not going to lose. They're not going to have him lose. Yeah, and I agree. And I said this last year. If he had won last year, they would potentially have created a Cena level megastar in Cody Rhodes. And so the fact that they didn't, and that was Vince. Vince did not want him to win because he knew that Vince has, and like I said, Roman is not on the same level as guys like as big as Roman is. He is the top guy in the company. He is a star. He is not a megastar on the level of Cena, The Rock, Austin, those guys. He's not on that level.
No.
And that's by design. It's not that he couldn't be on that level. He could. Vince didn't want him to be, because Vince doesn't want megastars anymore. Vince didn't want megastars anymore. He wanted the WWE brand to be the megastar. And that's the way they booked after that. That's why there was never anybody on that level again. And when it was clear that that's what was going to happen with Cody, because he doesn't like the star having the power.
Yeah, when The Rock goes off script in his promos in the ring, Vince does not like that.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, Vince doesn't like that. Vince was such a power, was such a friggin' micromanager. It drove him nuts. Well, and that there was that too. That whole the Rhodes family has been screwed more times than I can count.
Yeah.
But and so that's why he did not pull the trigger on Cody at Mania last year. Now this year we said Cody would be the number one guy after this. He'd be a huge star after this, but he wouldn't be he would never be as hot as he was last year. But still, this is the right move to go. This is 100% the right move to go. And the fact that they're not doing it, it's a mistake. So him in a triple threat is not, like I said, it's not ideal, but it's better than The Rock beating Roman.
And I said before, the ultimate screw you to the Rhodes family and the Cody is to have Cody win, and then Damian Priest cash in the Money in the Bank and take the title off of Cody.
Yeah, and here's the other, like I said, this not only the whole idea that they needed The Rock to come in to save WrestleMania is such a slap in the face to the friggin' WWE roster. There's everyone and all these people are like, well, who's Seth supposed to fight? The apologists were like, well, it has to be Cody versus Seth because who's Seth? There's no one that's there for Seth to fight. I was like, are you high? There's 4 or 5 guys right now that you could elevate to that position. Friggin' McIntyre, obviously, because they've already inserted him into this. So there you go, that McIntyre right there. But even though I know that there's still contractual issues with that, so McIntyre, Gunther could. We've been saying for I don't know how long that dude is ready to go to go into the world title scene. You got him, Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso. His star's on the rise.
LA Knight,
Damian Priest. I said from the start, I don't like the fact that Seth is working hurt. Because one wrong bump and that dude's on the shelf for the next 9 months. So the smart thing would have been to have Damian Priest come out, cash in on him, let Seth go and heal, come back and challenge him later. Problem solved. And that also solves the problem with the Money in the Bank. That's why I said this last month, The Rock being inserted into this and the decisions that they've made regarding their top guys and their world title scene is just so counterproductive. It doesn't, it's almost, people talk crap about Tony Khan's booking and how scatterbrained it is sometimes. This is one of the most scatterbrained things I've ever seen.
Let the guys from the other era stay in their other era. Quit bringing guys like Brock, Undertaker, The Rock, Steve Austin. Quit bringing these guys back.
Yeah.
Use the talent you have.
They've got some of the best freaking talent. I'm okay, man. Yeah, I'm okay, man. It doesn't make any freaking sense to me. It's just so like JD. I was listening to JD from New York, and he pretty much made the exact same points because it's so friggin' counterproductive. It's so counterintuitive to what makes sense. What happens? And maybe Brock works. So let less time and is the attraction, dude. The issues we have with Roman being a part-timer is the same problem we have. Go back and watch all of our episodes when Brock was the champion. We said the same thing. Brock has no business being the champion if he's a part-time guy. He comes, he defends the belt, and then he disappears for 3 months. It's stupid. Versus Stone Cold versus they need to stop bringing these guys back. Especially, I don't want to see these guys die in the ring. You know.
You've got more than enough talent that deserves the opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. You've got guys that are on the cusp. You got guys
in NXT like Braun Breaker that should be in a match at WrestleMania.
If Breaker came out and challenged Seth, I wouldn't hate it. I think there's other guys that are more ready to go.
Oh yeah, I don't expect to be in a title match, but have him in a match. Give him some time out there.
Yeah.
Give a legitimate guy to go up against Gunther.
Yeah. And right now, like Seth's belt for like the next 3 or 4 years is going to be in build mode. For it to be even considered like anywhere near the same level as Roman's title, they're gonna have to build that thing for the next couple of years. 1 year's not going to do it. If Danielle Case moves into Discovery and depths take place, do you think Triple H's name comes up as being complicit in Vince's actions? Okay, so the more I look into this, I don't know. Is it possible? Yes. I mean, the guy's his freaking father-in-law. I also think that, and so it's hard for me to believe that they didn't know at least some of Vince's predilections, especially since, and I think Stephanie friggin' leaving is a big part of that. I think she just wouldn't want to be a part of it anymore. I don't want to speculate on anything because we don't know, and there's a lot we don't know. But one thing that I have been noticing is Vince kind of, and this is something that people who are of that ilk do. They like to hide in plain sight. So it's almost like Vince. We all knew. Here's the things we knew about Vince before this thing. We all knew he was a womanizer. We all knew he cheated on his wife. We all knew that he would protect, like he protected Laurinaitis when Laurinaitis got busted. When he was having his little secret meetings on the company jet with talent who he basically said, either you sleep with me or your career goes nowhere. We knew all of that. Okay. It seems like he allowed that to get out almost to create a smoke screen for the other really, really messed up stuff he was doing. You know what I mean? It's like when they saw her and they heard about, and they probably did see her with him. They probably heard about him having sex with her and stuff like that. and they probably just chalked up to like Vince as being, doing the same stuff that Vince always does. It seems like he almost like he used what people knew about him as a way for people like they just dismissed it as more of the typical Vince stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which wasn't good, but was nowhere near as bad as what we're hearing.
Yeah, but if she was supposed to get $3 million, and there's what others out there, like
there's another one that got 7.5.
But there's and more than just the two, but there's others. There's several.
Oh yeah, and
it's like, okay, so nobody except Vince and Laurinaitis knew about this.
Oh, absolutely. Like there's no way Dunn didn't know about it. There's no way Pritchard, because Pritchard is Vince's proxy. Like Ronda Rousey did, like she hit the nail on the head when she said that as long as Bruce Pritchard's there, Vince has a voice.
Yep.
Bruce Pritchard has been Vince's proxy since day one. Okay, I have a hard time believing that at least those two guys didn't know. I have a hard time believing that his family didn't have at least some inkling. How deep it went, who knows? Like I said, guys like that are actually pretty good at, like I said, they're good at obfuscating what they do or intimidating people to the point where they don't look too deeply. You got to remember, Vince also had an army of freaking lawyers around him at all times.
Yeah.
So how much people knew, I'm very certain that anybody that had any kind of a position of power in that company knew at least something.
Yeah, come on.
How
His
much they knew.
His wife knew shit was going on.
Oh yeah, dude, 100% she knew. At least to some degree.
And if Linda knew, you don't think that their kids didn't know about it? Come on.
Oh yeah, yeah. And
why do you think Shane never came? Shane left.
Yeah, well, they're saying that there's reports coming out that the fallout between Vince and Shane was about this kind of stuff. That he was like he was done. Like he was like, this, you got to stop this crap or else. And it came to a head between the two of them. The Ashley Marisona stuff.
Massaro.
Massaro.
Massaro. That's her name, Massaro.
Okay, so yeah, it's misspelled here. I was like, what? But as far as who knew what, dude, we're not going to know unless it goes to trial and it comes out in deposition. And honestly, I don't think it goes to trial. I think Ari Emanuel is going to do everything he can. And basically, he's going to drive up to her truck, to her house. He's going to pull out his freaking bank, his book, his checkbook, and he's going to ask her how many zeros. And, so I doubt very seriously that this is going to go to trial. I'd be very shocked if it did. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to get paid out. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to get fired. We may never know 100% exactly what happened. Here's the thing. It's not the fault of the talent, the wrestlers that work at WWE. Okay. I don't watch WWE to support Vince McMahon or the McMahon family. I watch WWE because I like the people performing on it. Now, it's unfortunate that it seems like some of them were also implicated in this as well. But I'm not going to take a crap on the people that work on the show that perform, because they're the ones they're not responsible for this. Okay. The executives in charge of WWE, they're the ones responsible. So, throw the friggin', like throw the book at them, throw them in jail and throw away the key. But like I said, like Cody Rhodes, he had nothing to do with this. Roman Reigns had nothing to do with this, at least as far as we know. So, and if they cut away the rot, good. Yeah, the guys in the ring had nothing to do with what was going on at HQ.
Yep.
Just like, soldiers, for the U.S. government, they're not responsible for what the politicians and whatnot in this country do. So, but at the end of the day, Appreciate it, Big Daddy. Big Daddy, is JD going live after this? I can't remember if he has a show tonight. But if not, Big Daddy has like, guys, check out Big Daddy. He does his own videos. He's getting really close to 1,000 subscribers. Great historian. Guy's been in the wrestling business forever and a day. Like I always say, man, go learn at the Learning Tree, man. He's got real fun videos and encyclopedic knowledge. So yeah, I figured he was going on right up not long after we were done. So 8:30, go check out JD from New York.
Yes.
Yeah, he's got a lot to say. At the end of the day, is it like this was not a work? What's the page called? It's Guardian of Chaos. Actually, give me a second here. Frank, entertain everybody. I'm going to find.
Right. Yeah, at the end of the day, like Rob said, it's not a work. Cody should not be wrestling for a secondary title. He should be wrestling for the title, finishing his story. For him to be doing this, it's like, what sense? What's the reason he left AEW to come to WWE? He could be just doing the same thing in AEW that he's doing now. He came here to finish the story. And if you're going to drag this on until next WrestleMania, 3 years after he got here, you're losing all the momentum that you got when he first got to WWE.
And to everybody that was justifying the decision on last WrestleMania, what did Roman do with that belt in this period of time from then till now to justify this?
Diminished it.
Yes.
Yeah, by being almost non-existent. And like that's when Michael Cole had said that stupid thing. If you don't like him, beat him. I'm like, he's got to show up to work to beat him, dumbass. It's like it's hard to beat someone. It's hard to beat somebody when the guy only comes to work like 8 days a year. So yeah, absolutely, Pascal. He did nothing with it. He didn't elevate the belt. The belt has been on decline ever since WrestleMania. So,
yeah, it's going to be a while too.
It will not have the feeling it had last year, but it will be a big pop. It will elevate Cody to being the top guy, the top babyface in the company, and potentially the top guy in the company, because we all know Roman's going to be a part-timer and he's heading to Hollywood. So they gotta start thinking about life after Roman. And in my mind, Cody's it. Cody's the guy. And but not if you keep cutting his friggin' legs off.
Yeah, all it takes is one ACL injury, one Charlotte Flair injury to Roman Reigns.
That's it.
And he's done. It could be done for a year. Then you're gonna be, you're gonna keep the title on him for a year with no title defenses.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, and the other thing is you've got to have, this is the same problem we had when Brock was part-time in it. You need your title on television. You need it on television. You have to have it. Okay. You are diminishing your product. You are hamstringing yourself when you don't. So real quick, one last question here. Pascal said, also different perspective. Let's say Cody does end up in the main event at Mania versus Roman. Does all this attention devalue Seth's worth being treated like an afterlife? Yes. And here's the problem. That damage is done. There's nothing they can do about that now.
Yep.
That happened the minute that they had Seth come out and do that promo with Cody to force his hand. And then at SmackDown, Roman took a massive dump on that belt. And Cody chose Roman anyway. That literally cut Seth off at the knees. So that's why I said that the creative decision on all of this killed the momentum for everybody. So, and at this point, nothing they do is going to fix it, but there are things they can do. Like I said, like they've already tripped and fell during the race. Okay. They've already tripped and fallen off of the parallel bars at the Olympics. The only thing they could do now is try to stick the landing. So let's just boycott Mania. Dude, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a bunch of people that do.
Yeah,
It's not even, it's not even a boycott.
Yeah, I
It's
can't
not even
remember
a boycott to me. I just don't feel like watching anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time Roman Reigns won had a clean pin.
Yes.
Dylan. It's always either one of the Usos or both or Solo.
I think maybe Owens like 2 years ago. It's been a long time, but anyway, guys, we're past time here. Yeah, I'm sure this isn't the last time we're going to talk about this going forward. It'll be, at the very least, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Like I said, and also we know that this is a distraction, obviously for obvious reasons. But I'm hoping against all hope that Cody doesn't get completely screwed out of this. Like I said, hopefully they'll stick the landing.
We'll see. There's less than 2 months till WrestleMania.
Yep. Miss Saren, no problem. Appreciate you guys. And I'd say that before we leave, guys, appreciate everyone that's here. Maldacito, Miss Saren, Big Daddy, Guardian of Chaos. Pascal, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Dylan, Maldacito, Leg Kick, see everybody else. Sergio, appreciate the comment, man. And everybody else that was lurking and anybody that I missed, thanks for being here, guys. We appreciate it. We will see you here next week. I swear, more content's coming.
Yep.
We got to get through. There's a couple personal things we got to get through, and then we will be doing more stuff, and hopefully you guys will be around for that. But we appreciate it, guys.
Shout out Megan. Shout out Megan Bell.
Yep. And take care of you guys. Take care of yourselves, guys. Bye.